the great festive opportunity, refreshing the marketing narrative. I'll be introducing our respected moderator for the session. Our respected moderator is Promita Saha, Vice President from Karupin. Give it up for Promita Saha, please, ladies and gentlemen, as she takes over the stage. Yes, please, ma'am. और जोर से मुझे तालियों की तुम सुनाई नहीं दे रही है, please. Let's make some more noise, Kolkata, the city of joys. Please spread some joy. Thank you. We have our honorable speakers, and I'll introduce them. We have Arindam Biswas, VP Brand and Strategic Partnership from SVF. Give it up for Mr. Arindam Biswas, ladies and gentlemen. Zor se taali, and make some hoots and whistles as well, please. We don't mind that. Welcome. We have Parneet Purewal, Senior Manager, Consumer Activation, ITC Foods Division. I hope I got the pronunciation right. Perfect? Very well. Thank you so much. Give it up for her, please, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make some noise. Our speakers are coming here to, kind of share their knowledge and insights for all the people over here who have come to join us. We have Souvik Misra, co-founder, director, SOS Ideas. Give it up for Mr. Souvik Misra, please, ladies and gentlemen. मुझे ताली सुनाई नहीं दे रही है, so what I want is everybody, let's start clapping from here and we make a Mexican wave. We go like this. So let's start from here, please. Let's start clapping, please. Let me show you all how to clap. Let the clap continue, please, please, please. Let's continue the Mexican wave. People over there at the back, please clap. I request everybody to kindly have the Mexican wave going in. Mexican wave लगता है सबको पहले से सिखाना पड़ेगा. These people are very. I'm pretty sure you must have enjoyed all those cricket matches in the stadium. सबको पता है Mexican wave. वहाँ पे मुझे पीछे थोड़ा सिखाना पड़ेगा, but then it's going to be fun. We have Subhodeep Roy as well, who's the National Head of Sales GT at Dabur. Give it up for Mr. Subhodeep Roy, please. Ladies and gentlemen. Yes, a lot better. Thank you. All right, so the panel is ready. The stage is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you for organizing this entire day today, because I think Calcutta needs to have much more of these conversations. Though in Bengal we tend to talk a lot more, and as we are branded, like the Adda community, but strangely we do not have a lot of marketing Adda sessions here in Kolkata, where the entire community comes together. Thanks for all the energy that our anchor, Subhodeep, has brought into the event, because the panel that is today here sitting is actually talking about the high energy levels that exist in every festival that is conducted in East India. We are aware of Durga Puja. Yes, it's Diwali time. I think it's that one time of the year where none of us are in our houses, no one's cooking, no one's bothered about waking up early the next day morning, because we go back home early morning after starting our day at 12 noon. But so is Rath Yatra. Many of us will be going there to seek blessings from Lord Jagannath. So is Rongali Bihu, where millions of people dressed in the traditional Assamese attire are in these huge Bihu tolis, participating in different kinds of dances, cultural evenings. So it's the community participating everywhere. Given this mindset of the consumers, where we are more ready to participate, more ready to listen, more ready to absorb whatever is given towards us, we have a phenomenal panel here where we have a very rounded picture of how marketeers make use of this situation. From a client's perspective, from a marketer's perspective, we have a representing ITC, where so many brands of ITC are visible during all these occasions. We have Shubhodeep from Dabur India, where a huge portfolio of brands are handled by Shubhodeep's team. But then the question is, what to do with Dabur honey versus what to do with Chyawanprash? That's a question which I'll come to later on. But most importantly, we have a representation from a creative agency where I guess all the discussions start. Right after the market research, the consumer insight, then a team like SOS would come in and weave a campaign together to finally top it up with a huge content platform reach as represented by Koi Choi SBF by Arindam here. So let me start with maybe an interesting anecdote which maybe Parneet can give us. That Parneet, if you have to literally give a storytelling experience of one of your brands, maybe Ashirwad, and what drove you to that campaign that you would have recently done during Bihu or last year, where most of us would have seen that huge activation in Bagoja. If you could start with that.
Hi, good afternoon, Calcutta, Kolkata. Just a little background to me. I represent ITC Foods, which is based out of Bangalore. I'm born and brought up in Mumbai, and my origins are Punjab, North. So, coming with all of this, I thought festival, Diwali se bada kya ho sakta hai? That was the mindset that, typically people in probably that side of the country would have. And when we wanted to participate in Durga Puja, I think around 7 years back, so we've been constantly participating in Durga Puja, at Jodhpur Pandal or the Bagh Bazaar Pandal that she was talking about. Diwali is the most colorful festival that I know, so how do I look at Durga Puja? And then I just Googled, as you rightly pointed out outside, I Googled what is Durga Puja all about. And then on the face of it, I thought it is a lot like Ganesh Chaturthi that is celebrated in the in the western part of the country where I belong. But there is a drastic difference. When I actually came to Calcutta, I literally saw the entire city outside. There was pandal hopping. That's the first thing that I learned about Durga Puja, which I was not aware of. And hence, it was really, really important for us to identify the right agency who understands the core of what Calcutta is, what people here think of Durga Puja, and what Durga Puja really means to them. It is actually an emotion which we realize. So there's a beautiful journey that we have taken along with the brand Ashirwad and Durga Puja, and just slowly also gone to the other brands that we have, be it Bingo or the Ashirwad Swasti Milk. So earlier when we used to do Durga Puja campaigns for Ashirwad, it was very simple. There are a couple of engagement activities happening and stuff like that. But slowly, when we realized the core of the festival, we started integrating the ideas much, much better. So it's very simple example. So the brand talks about Eta Marma. The background to that is the atta, Ashirwad atta has the right amount of fiber that keeps the energy levels high for the mother to not only do the daily chores at home, but also keep time for herself. So we started with this campaign, which is around Dhunuchi dance during Durga Puja, wherein we did a relay of roughly 13.5 to 14 hours. All as a brand we did was just created a platform, and women across Kolkata came and participated. So our investments were very few, but the entire campaign was run by women of Calcutta. So that was the starting point for us to understand, the actual essence of Durga Puja. And the campaign that Promita was talking about, that was last year, that was executed last year. What we actually did is we created a pandal within the Jodhpur, within the Bagh Bazaar pandal, wherein Durga Ma Pratima was replaced by the women of Calcutta. So they came ahead and saw themselves as the Durga Ma. It received a lot of appreciation. Obviously, there were these finer nuances that we had captured, be it the Dhunuchi dance or the Alpona that is done right outside the pandal. So all those things have got us a lot of learning. So that is a couple of examples on what we've done for Ashirwad.
Subhodeep, you have this huge responsibility of managing a huge portfolio of brands. products which speak very differently to their consumer. I mean, if I am a woman, a mom, I will see honey differently. I will see Dabur Red differently. I will see Chyawanprash definitely differently. Being in Calcutta for the past 6-7 years now, I have seen how festival marketing for Dabur has undergone change. Where earlier there would be a lot of incidences of just visibility, but now, and fortunately Kaluprit has been a part of that journey as well, where Dabur is now also talking about innovation through visibility tools. So my question to you is that, do you see festivals, and again, not only Durga Puja, but Bihu as well as Rath, as more occasions of a brand building opportunity rather than only sales? I mean, of course, there are brands where the category is such where it's extremely, the need of the hour is to have very sales-focused campaigns. But ITC and Dabur taking it up is more opportunities for brand building. So what is your point of view and how has it evolved?
Yeah, thanks, Promita, and thanks to all the panelists. Thanks everyone for giving the opportunity. So I think you are right. So we have a diverse portfolio, right? And we are into multi-categories from home and personal care, healthcare, to food and beverages, and we have market leader brands, we have challenger brands across. Now I think the challenge that we face, being national brands in most of the categories we are present across the country, is that how do we marry both the national messaging, the core messaging of the brand, as well as take the regional insights into account, and how do we adapt to the thing, keeping the core of the brand similar without touching the core of the brand. So I think that is some challenge that we face. However, when it comes to innovations, I think we understood that plain vanilla visibility drives, etc. during occasions, during any of the festivals, be it Rath Yatra, Rojo, Vali Yatra, Durga Puja, Ganga Sagar, Bihu, Hornbill. So a lot of occasions across East exist, and we do participate across these occasions. Reason is very simple. We want to connect with the regional and the local consumers. We want to build brand love. We want to build trust with the local consumers. And that is why we feel that while there is a national campaign that is going on, we connect with the consumers across the country, but it is very, very critical for us to also engage, and we need to connect with the local consumer through different routes. And the routes today are not limited to only outdoor or only digital. I think it's a combination of routes that we apply. So when national campaign is going on a particular brand, we do marry with different kind of regional initiatives across festivals that we talked about. Be it presence in the puja pandals through visibility elements, amplifying it on the digital platforms, doing a influencer campaign, and at the same time doing a print burst, and at the same time doing a sampling across consumers. So it's a combination of these things. Just to give you an example, for example, honey, right? We talked about honey. So honey, we had a campaign running for weight management campaign that was going on, right? Last year, when the Durga Puja campaign, we were also thinking on the regional things. So that time we thought, how do we marry the core of the Durga Puja festival, which was having sweets, lot of fun, good food, etc. So we can't take that away, right? And at the same time, we have to talk about weight management as well, which is the brand core messaging. How do we marry that? So we called, something called a Bhalo Mishti campaign, right? Which is good for health Mishti, right? So we tied up with a local famous sweet shop. I won't name that, right? And we also did a lot of amplification on digital media. While the regional campaign on TV, etc. was on, we had a print burst. We also participated across the top puja pandals with that messaging again through visibility elements. And there was on-ground activation on those sweet stores across Calcutta, in fact across Bengal, on the Bhalo Street drive. So I think it's a combination of these things that we work on, and there is an insight team that we have in-house. Then of course we have partners in the city, so we look forward to working with the regional agencies who really give us good insights. And of course we have an in-house team who we brainstorm with in order to understand what are the kind of things that will work in a particular show. So that is how we decide on how to take the campaign forward. But again, the challenge that we face again and again, I'm telling you, is very important, because Because most of these brands, be it a Chyawanprash, be it a Honey, be it a Vatika, be it a Amla, be it a Dabur Red Paste, are national brands. There is a core national message communication that has to go, and therefore that can't be tampered with. How do we adapt that to a regional occasion? That is where we face the challenge, and that is why I think it is very critical. So we do the planning, in a certain manner, to do that. So that's, I think that's how we crack these regional things. And of course, innovation, I think plain vanilla, because there is a lot of clutter across, right? So we have to break that clutter. We have done a lot of innovative outdoors with our regional partners of late. Be it on RTP, there was a RTP 3D kind of anamorphic creation at one of the top puja pandals. Or, for example, there was a tunnel of oatmeal when one enters the pandal. It was in Modiali, I believe, or I think somewhere in South Kolkata. When one enters the pandal, so he will have that fragrance of oatmeal layer freshener. So that's an experience, right? And I think we called it something in Bengali like Shugande Pora, something. So I think those things are very, very nuanced, very, very regionalized that we bring on table as far as the innovations are concerned.
So with great insights and intentions of capitalizing on those insights, you need great creative agencies to put your communication together. So Souvik, you have been operating here for a very long time, and I'm sure brands look up to you to render their insights into very relevant communication messages. What is your point of view? I think something that you used while we were just discussing outside. There is something called brand insights, category insights, and then there is something called festival insights. So can you give us, the audience, few examples of what kind of campaigns you have SOS has created during festival time?
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon, everyone, and hello to all the panelists and you. So I've been in the advertising field for about 25 years, and I've seen how Durga Puja advertising or festive advertising in general has evolved over time. Some of the brands I've noticed have been very good at that, in identifying the right insights and giving the creative a certain form which really appeals to the audience. So brands like Anandabazar Potrika, I would say, they have something called Puja Varshiki. I don't know if you're aware of it. Puja Varshikis are thick annuals that come out just before the pujas. And for the last 30 years or so, they've been doing very distinctive Puja Varshiki campaigns, which kind of usher in Durga Puja for Bengalis, a lot of Bengalis. So we've been involved in projects like that. Also, identifying the right kind of stories which really appeal to the TG, the Bengali audience or the Eastern region audience. That is also very important. And what are the things that would really help a brand associate with this whole festive cause? I would recall brands like Asian Paints who created a property called Sharad Shramman. So again, whenever there is Durga Puja, you think of Asian Paints and Sharad Shramman. So these are long-term properties these brands have created over, say, 25 years or so. Similarly, we once did for Century Ply a property called Heroes, where we were kind of rewarding people who are behind the scenes, like the carpenters, the electricians, and people like that. So, and that has been continuing for the last 10 years or so. So, identifying the right stories, creating the right regional connect, that is I think the key thing. Another thing is a lot of brands, including Dabur, with whom we've been involved for quite some time, ITC as well, probably they're kind of realizing that the national advertising that has been created is not exactly resonating with, say, the southern markets or the eastern markets. So, like starting from Dabur Honey to various other brands, we have tried to, make it region specific. How to really appeal to to the current market. So so understanding the regional insights, the regional mindset of the people, I think is the key to creating stories, creating communication that really resonates with the audience and makes the brand relevant, during the festive times. I think that's the most important.
Yes, I would love to share two examples of insights if I may. So just like Durga Puja is very close to our heart, there's Rath Yatra as well that we participate over the years. So for Ashirwad Atta, we've been doing this campaign there for the last 5-6 years, and we realized the biggest insight to the festival is there are roughly 10 to 15 lakh people who come to Rath Yatra, and the biggest reason for them to be there is they want to touch the Rath, they want to touch the rope, they want to pull the rope, and a lot of times people are unable to do that, and especially women, because there's so much crowd they're pushed behind. So we built on that insight, and we actually created an Ashirwad Majan, which was a 2-story building. We had these advanced telescopes placed on the first floor. Women could come there and look at the Rath Yatra and the idols from the telescope. We also used technology in form of VR classes, when they could see the Rath Yatra through these VR classes and also get a feel of pulling the rope. So this was one insight that was built for an Atta category. The very different insight for a salt category. Again, for Ashirwad salt, what we realized is Orissa and Puri specifically is extremely hot and humid during Rath Yatra. So what can we do to quench everybody's thirst there? So what we did there was a very simple activity. We made Nimbu Pani using Ashirwad salt and served it to 1 lakh plus people. So just two very different examples of how we built on the festival insights to reach out to the objective and deliver the message that we want to.
Yeah, I think as all of us, I think what we are trying to say is festivals have certain very critical nuances, and brands which can catch on to those nuances versus a very mass kind of communication are the ones which I guess stays with the target audience. With all campaigns, of course, a very typical KPI is reach. And we have Arindam here representing one of the biggest platforms today that brands have, either through Hoichoi or SPF, where again you are managing a lot of talent who can be the spokesperson of these very well-devised campaigns. So Arindam, your few examples where you have helped brands to give a regional, how should I say, a spokesperson or a regional celebrity, completely integrating the campaign, giving the regional look and feel.
Firstly, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for this. See, for us, obviously the festive period is the prime period. We release our most prized content at that point of time, be it Durga Puja, Eid, or a Poila Boishakh. One of the recent campaigns I can share is the entire Sprite campaign that happened last year, with leveraging the content as a platform. And the Sprite campaign typically talked about one particular face that we have roped in, who drove the message. There was a meet and greet session, there was a QR code session. At that festive period, any Sprite bottle you buy, you scan, you get a Hoichoi subscription free for 1 day. So it's basically combining the entertainment and insights and engaging consumers to the point is that if you have to consume something, entertainment is a part of it. For us, it's extremely important that we provide the right set of combinations to a brand whoever is coming to us for a solution. We are primarily a content platform. Our core key area has been to create content, be it in films, television, OTT platform, which we are doing around about 22 web series in a year. How to leverage it is, we being an SWOT platform right now, there are no ads. So one of the key KPIs is that we run and bombard ads. We don't have ads. And but one of the solutions that we provide is that how brands can come and associate with the content that we are doing and leverage it, the same kind of communication. organization, lead an association of a AKN or lead an association for industry with film. Our core strength is that if you have a problem and if you want to reach, we are reaching out to our paying 20 million customers or paying to our 280 million Bengali people in the world. If you have that particular insight and the kind of content we create during Pujo is very festive centric. So it's extremely important for us to pick up the right face that drives a particular messaging, pick up the right content and bring forward a brand or give the brand a provision or an opportunity to come and associate so that the messaging across the platform, whatever you want to message across the platform is extremely smooth. I can give you a certain example of Bingo. Last year we did a campaign with Hojo as a platform where we created a small mini series around Bingo Tere. For Sprite we did a comedy show, bringing up the right faces, the right communications, and obviously as a platform our only judgment is how many people we have reached. So I think that's how we combine our reach and platform and help brands ride onto that.
Souvik, you were mentioning a point where, and I think again, we have a great combination between Parneet and Subhodeep, where their work offices, one is based in Calcutta and one who is outside Bengal. So when clients come to you from different spaces, somebody who might be here for the past 8 years and they come to you with a brief versus somebody headquartered in Bombay and they come to you with a brief. Are there different approaches taken by you as a creative director while weaving the narratives or the storytelling?
Are there different approaches? The truth is we try to do what is going to work for the brand and the consumer. So different clients, regional versus national clients might have a different perspective to the festivals, but the solution has to be correct. So we try to work out our solutions from that point of view. So what we feel at times is, people who are not from this region, they often have a very stereotypical look at Durga Puja. You would remember, hoardings with the 3 Nayan of the Devi just plastered on it and the brand name. It's often as super simplistic as that. I mean, that doesn't appeal to anyone. If you can tell, like I was saying, compelling stories, then only the brand can actually find a place in the consumer's heart. Now, for the festivals, one important thing is to respect the tradition, have, celebrate the family moments, the culture, the tradition, that part. But times are changing, all the traditions that we know are going through a change. New, people are breaking the status quo in many areas. So if those aspects can be reflected in your stories, like for example, Arif was here a little while ago from Safed. Last year we did a film for Safed where we were showing women who are breaking stereotypes in Durga Puja, like women purohits, women puja organizers, women decorators, So women who are taking that new step. So we try to showcase, or rather tell these kind of stories, and it got a great response from the audience. So that's the mistake that national clients often make, is just take a Durga Puja element and associate the brand with it. That's not enough, There has to be a second layer to it, a third layer to it, to really make impactful communication which works in this season. That's what I feel.
I think here, if I bring in our experience to the table, because we have been pretty much out of home / on-ground experts for the past 93 years, settled in this region. And yes, we as an agency also, we have been evolving rather than offering just standardized solutions which were offered years ago. So when you talked about women taking a lead is one of the insights here. One of the campaigns that we had done for Lakme, where we realized that when a Pratima Unmochon happens, right, when a pujo is inaugurated, it's usually done by a celebrity or somebody who is more popularly known in the fields of politics, sports, entertainment. It's a huge, huge privilege. Today is my pujo's opening. It's a grand affair. So what we proposed is that, and Lakme is an on-ground pujo. So we weaved around an on-ground event, curated an event where precursor to that, we had a beauty contest. Fine, there are many beauty contests at this point in time. But what was different here, that these young girls who would win the beauty contest, and we had not kept a single winner or 3 winners. They were named as Lakme Apurupa Shashti, Lakme Apurupa Shakuni. Like that, there were 5 winners, Lakme Apurupa Dashami. And these winners had the opportunity to do the Pratima Unmachan in a very prestigious Pandal India. So it hit the TG because we were thinking that maybe for a Gen Z, the 18 to 21-year-olds, which is the marketing TG, would it matter to them? Maybe to me it matters a lot. I'm born and brought up here and I have never unveiled a goddess. And it was a hugely successful campaign, depending on the registrations we received, the footfall that was there. So during this time, on-ground swells up compared to the other times of the year where we have thousands of articles where the traditional versus digital debate. Thousands of articles. Till now, even now, somebody would be offering that article somewhere. But from a brand's perspective, Subhodeep, Parneet, when you are doing the media planning, do you also see that during, whether it's Hornbill, whether it's Rojo, whether it's Rath, Bihu, the on-ground part somehow takes a slightly more significant role compared to the other parts of the year, compared to, let's say, a social media or a digital platform?
Yeah, in a way, yes. I think it is more relevant also during those localized festivals like a Hornbill that you talked about, or even a Bihu for that matter. I think it makes more sense that we, ramp up our on-ground presence and campaigns that time. But again, as I mentioned, it cannot be a standalone approach, right? That you have on-ground and you don't amplify it. So it should not be appearing as a silo campaign, right? Wherein, I think, as I mentioned, there has to be a brand strategy, which is a national strategy, national priority and a given kind of period. And any campaign that we do on the ground or a regional campaign, that has to be in sync with that. And if it has to be in sync with that, then only on ground or only digital might not bring us the kind of results that we would want. So of course, while these localized festivals, even a Rath Yatra for that matter, or a Rojo or a Bali Yatra in Orissa, these do require a lot of on-ground activations, right? And we, for example, it's not only about the power brands that we talked about, there are a lot of NPTs, which is the new brands that we launched along the year. These also require a lot of trials and sampling, etc. So the on-ground activations do provide a platform for these kind of sampling activations, visibility, etc. But I think today it is very, very critical for us to amplify that through a digital platform as well. And to use a lot of, again, a regional celeb or a local micro-influencer for that matter to amplify that kind of presence that we are actually investing behind. So that's why we do a combination of these things rather than a standalone on-ground kind of event only. That's how we think about our campaigns.
Maybe last question because we don't have much time, but Parneet, how are I was going to come to this because influencers, keeping up, of course, celebrities will always be celebrities, but today micro-influencers have huge traction on social media. So I am assuming that just like other brands are putting all these channels together to create an impactful platform, what role do these micro-influencers play, especially in categories like an atta or a salt where at the end of the day it's the mothers. Right? And micro-influencers play a very different role when it comes to fashion, when it comes to food, but when it comes to home categories, where a mother might not end up buying atta because an influencer is talking about it. So for categories or under the mother brand Ashirwad, for a festival context, do you use micro-influencers to amplify your campaign?
We certainly do that. Just a little bit from the previous question as well. So we feel consumers are trying to seek new experiences. And when you are able to hit the right chord, that experience stays with them and it stays with them for long. Like we've had people come back to us in Durga Puja and Rath Yatra. Last year you did that, why are you not repeating it again this year? So we have
experiential.
Absolutely. Now coming to micro-influencers, what really happens is, at Rath Yatra or Durga Puja, we're not really talking about, you should have Ashirwad. We're talking about things like we understand your culture and we want to celebrate it with you. So that is the kind of conversation we are trying to have. And through these micro-influencers, it helps us, reach out to a larger audience. Physically, on ground, we will only be able to reach maybe 10,000, 15,000 or at max 1 lakh people. But through the help of these folks, we will be able to reach a multiplier or maybe 10x or 20x. So that's why these people make a lot of difference for us.
Anything on micro-influencers or
I feel that micro-influencers is a thing and it's the next big thing. There's no better way to reach out to your right set of audiences than via micro-influencers. When I say micro-influencers, it can be across food categories, it can be across gardening, it can be across sports. The way we see micro-influencers is a little different. If I take a step back and, in newspapers as a category, you will see a main edition getting published in Calcutta. There is a similar edition that gets published in Siliguri, probably in Hooghly. For us, that particular publication which is getting published in Hooghly and Siliguri is a little different. It has cultural insights. For us, micro-influencers is that. A celebrity will have a following, but those followings are from across the world. A micro-influencer, even if it is 10K, it has a following across its community. So if you have to really spread a message out there, micro-influencers are the next big thing. Depends on what kind of a content. That's where Souvik comes into places. What content can you say via these micro-influencers? How are you saying it? And also what importantly plays a role in these micro-influencers is that they are local. They speak the local language. They are not speaking English. They're not speaking something that probably 10 other people won't relate to. So local is the next big thing, and if you're talking about hyper-local micro-influencers, you cannot deny micro-influencers when you're trying to communicate. You can let go of celebrity-led campaigns, but you cannot let go of micro-influencer-led campaigns. So that's in our ecosystem is that very important.
Thank you, everyone. I think we've just managed to keep time. So, summary, I think all of us are speaking about the same thing, that insights, festival insights, consumer-driven insights during these festival times, because East is big, and it is not only East, we have a vibrant Northeast as well. In just a few days, it's going to be Roth. Another few days, Maashchin, and the stories just continue to go on year after year. Thank you, Subhodeep, Souvik, Parneet, Arindam, for sharing your insights, and look forward to many more discussions today evening. Thank you, Agni. Thank you.